I'm glad to say hi to everyone. The positive quote. The positive thinker sees the invisible, feels the intangible, and achieves the impossible. With this quote, let's move on to the topic. Types of research design. Research designs are classified into three broad categories and several subtypes. They are quantitative research design, qualitative research design, and mixed method research design. First, let's see the classification of quantitative research design. It is again classified into three categories. First, experimental research design. Second, non-experimental or observational research design. Third, specific quantitative research design. First, experimental research design. It is again classified into true experimental design or randomized control trial. This true experimental design or randomized control trial is again divided into basic true experimental design and specific true experimental design. Under basic true experimental design, it is again classified into three categories. First one, post-test only control group design. Second, pre-test, post-test control group design. Third, Solomon 4-group design. Next, specific true experimental design is again categorized into six. First, parallel group design. Second, split body design. Third, factorial design. Fourth, randomized block design. Fifth, crossover design. And the last one, Latin square design. Let's see the main features of experimental research design. Most scientific design, popularly known as randomized control trial, where researcher manipulates independent variables to observe the effect on dependent variables in the presence of randomization and control group for comparison. So the main features of experimental research design are three things. First is manipulation. It is nothing but intervention. Second, randomization. And the third is control group. Use of allocation, concealment, and binding may also be used to prevent the selection, performance, and measurement bias. Allocation concealment is a technique used in randomized control trials to prevent selection bias by keeping the treatment allocation sequence hidden from those assigning participants to groups. It's important because it prevents participants and clinicians from knowing their upcoming assignments, which can undermine even a random sequence. Blinding is a research strategy that involves withholding information from people involved in a study to prevent bias and ensure the validity of results. It is also known as masking. Next, let's see about quasi-experimental research design or non-randomized control trial. So here, one characteristic is absent from the true experimental research design. Manipulation will be present, control group will be present, but here the randomization won't be there. It is again categorized into six subcategories. First one, non-randomized control group design. Second, non-equivalent control group post-test only design. Time series non-equivalent control group design. Time series design. Time series with withdrawn and reinstituted treatment design. One group pretest post-test design. So let's see the main features of quasi-experimental research design. It is a weak experimental design where researcher manipulates independent variables to observe the effect on dependent variables without the presence of randomization and even sometimes control group for comparison. Thus, it is often called as non-randomized control trials or controlled trials without randomization. Next, moving on, non-experimental observational research design. It is again categorized into correlational research design, descriptive research design, exploratory research design, and survey research design. So this correlational research design is again categorized into cohort research design. This cohort research design is classified into three. First, prospective cohort design, historical cohort design, ambispective cohort design. Next, the correlational research design. Second type is case control research design. And the third one is analytical cross-sectional design. Next, let's see main features of correlational research design. Correlational research design involves examination of relationship between two or more variables in a natural setting without manipulation or control. Here, it mainly deals with cause and effect relationship. Next, cohort research design. Observing a cohort exposed and unexposed groups prospectively, that means relatively to or effective in future from cause to effect. Next, case control research design. Observing cases and controls retrospectively, that is looking again at the past from effect to cause. Next, analytical cross-sectional design. Observing relationship in two or more variables by observing at a single point of time in cases and controls. Next, let's see about descriptive research design. It is again classified into univariate descriptive research design, prevalence studies or cross-sectional descriptive design, incidence studies or longitudinal descriptive design, comparative descriptive design. The main features of descriptive design is descriptive research design involves accurate description of characteristics of individual, situation or group and the frequency with which a certain phenomena occurs in natural setting without imposing any control or manipulation. When observations are described and compared in two or more different groups, it is termed as comparative descriptive design. Next, exploratory research design. It is used when topic of research is new and helps to operationally define the problem and generate hypothesis. It may also be used to study qualitative phenomena. Exploratory research design is the most primitive design which is used to study a phenomenon that is not well understood to operationally define problem, generate hypothesis and improve a research design. Next, let's see about survey design. It is used to obtain information about prevalence, distribution and interrelations of phenomena in a population such as political opinion polls, customer survey, health survey and so on. Survey research design provides a superficial information on what people do, eat, seek healthcare and so on, which is collected through face-to-face interview, questionnaires, telephonic or electronic interviews. It provides extensive rather than intensive results. Next, let's see on about specific quantitative research design. There are 8 subtypes. They were clinical trials, evaluation research, outcome research, operational research, methodological research, secondary data analysis, meta-analysis, and ecological studies. Let's see one by one. Clinical trials are conducted in the field of medicine to assess the safety and efficacy of new drugs and medical devices. These trials could vary from phase 0 to phase 4 trials. Next, evaluation research. It is an interventional study which assesses the successes of programs, practices, procedures, or policies. Outcome research. Outcome research involves the observation and assessment of care practices and systems in place. It is used in nursing to develop evidence-based practice and improve nursing actions. Operational research. Operational research involves the study of complex human organizations and services to develop new knowledge about institutions, programs, user facilities, and personnel to improve working efficiency of an organization. Next, methodological research. It is conducted to develop, test, and evaluate the research instruments and methods. Secondary data analysis. It's a research design in which the data collected in one research is reanalyzed by another researcher, usually to test new hypotheses. Next, meta-analysis. Quantitatively combining and integrating the findings of the multiple quantitative research studies on a particular topic. Last, ecological studies. It's an epidemiological research design which compare measurements in groups rather than individuals by using secondary data from published surveys, reports, population, disease registry, vital statistics, records, and census. Next, let's see about qualitative research design. There are 6 types of qualitative research design. First is phenomenological research. Second, ethnographic research. Third, grounded theory. Fourth, case study. Fifth, historical research. Last one, action research. Let's see one by one. Phenomenological research. Phenomenological research examines human experience through the descriptions provided by people involved. Ethnographic research. Ethnographic research involves the information collected from certain cultural groups by living with people of those groups and from their key informants who are believed to be most knowledgeable about the selected culture. Grounded theory. The main feature is from a collection of data gathered by a participant observer, theory is developed accordingly. Case study. Research on a phenomenon by studying in depth about any case example. It could be any event, a group, a distinctive person, or an institution. Historical research. Orderly gathering of data and its objective evaluation belonging to past occurrences to examine hypotheses related to causes, effects, or trends of these cases, which might help in explaining current events and expecting future events. Last, action research. Action research seeks action to improve practices and study the effect of the action that was taken. Next, let's see various types of research design which comes under mixed methods research design. First, convergent design. Second, explanatory sequential design. Exploratory sequential design. Embedded design. Let's see one by one. First is convergent design. It is also known as concurrent triangulation design, which involves collection and analysis of quantitative and qualitative data separately at same time with equal weightage, where data are merged only at the time of interpretation to compare and contrast quantitative and qualitative results to enhance understanding of a phenomenon. Second, explanatory sequential design. This design involves a quantitative phase of data collection and analysis, followed by qualitative data collection and analysis to explain quantitative data more clearly or understand about participants that are to be purposefully selected for qualitative phase of study. Third, exploratory sequential design. This design involves qualitative phase of data collection and analysis followed by quantitative data collection and analysis to test or generalize initial qualitative findings. It is generally used for instrument or taxonomy development. Last, embedded design as data set of a primary research design supplemented by data set of another. If primary design is quantitative, it can be supplemented by qualitative strand or vice versa, which is generally concurrent in time reference but could be sequential when used before and after experimental study. Quantitative plus qualitative or qualitative plus quantitative. Success is not final, failure is not fatal. It is the courage to continue that counts. Thank you for listening.